So a lot of Power Ranger fans, including myself, have been wondering, does Lord Drakkon have a weakness? And by reading Shattered Grid at this point with issue 26, it seems like he can't be stopped. He's absorbed a few Ranger powers here and there, he's gotten more in the annual, and it looks like that this guy cannot be stopped. And does he have a weakness? And I'm gonna say yes, he does. Now your first answer is probably the suit, the Ranger costume, and I'm gonna agree with you. Lord Drakkon does rely on that suit. When he was demorphed back in the Lord Drakkon arc about a year ago, you did see some panic on his face when he lost his powers and he was outnumbered by the Resistance, the Rangers from the original timeline. He was kind of panicking in a way that he couldn't fight them without his Ranger powers. Even though he had his army beside him, he saw some panic on his face. Now another weakness of Lord Drakkon is that he appears to be too cocky, especially reading the annual where he was sort of pushed back by several Ranger teams, SPD, RPM, and even Ninja Steel. So those teams were able to hold him back and defeat him, making him retreat. So it shows that Lord Drakkon is a bit cocky taking on these other Rangers because he calls them lesser beings because he views himself as a god, but he probably doesn't know the full extent of other Rangers' powers. And because Lord Drakkon tries taking on everything alone or with his army, he does have the weakness of being too cocky, not going into the battle prepared. He takes things by force. He does have a plan most of the time when he knows what that plan is, but if you see by the annual him trying to rush the worlds, take them over and get rid of their morphers to add to his own, he's been pushed back by several teams. So it shows that he's a great commander in some ways, but he does have flaws in his plans, like some commanders as well. He's not thinking things all the way through, and that's why he's probably been getting pushed back by these teams. Now, Lord Drakkon has a weakness that I don't think a lot of people are going to agree with me, but if you look into it, it makes some sort of sense. And that is that Lord Drakkon's weakness, in an emotional sense, is Finster 5. Now, we saw in issue 26 when Lord Drakkon returned, he gave Finster 5 a hug, and Kyle Higgins, the writer of Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in the Boom Comics, has said these characters have a history that he has yet to tell, and he might be planning on telling it down the line in future issues. Now, I don't know what that history is, but for Lord Drakkon to show affection towards him, where he's this evil ruler, but he's got this one friend in this post-destroyed world, you show that he cares about this character. He has some sort of emotional bond towards him, a friendship. And whether I'm saying that Finster 5 will get injured or hurt or killed in this arc, who knows about what happened, but if this character is Lord Drakkon's weakness, then that might play some sort of role in Shattered Grid, getting this character, I don't know, kidnapped. I don't want to say killed, because I don't think they'll kill this monster. He is a monster, so you can get away with killing a monster in Power Rangers. But will they kill off Finster 5 to break Lord Drakkon? Now, it sounds stupid, it sounds really stupid, but this character is someone that Lord Drakkon cares about, that we saw when he gave him a hug. So is this character somehow tied to Lord Drakkon, and it can somehow maybe break him? Because Finster 5 is helping Lord Drakkon in his quest to absorb all the morphers and add to his own power. So what will happen later down the line? So what do you guys think? Is Finster 5 the weakness to Lord Drakkon? Now, whether he'll play a big role in future issues, we have yet to see, but I've got that weird theory in my head that Finster 5 is going to be some sort of emotional weakness to Lord Drakkon. Call me crazy, what do you guys think? Tell me in the comment section down below, because I get the feeling that Finster 5 and Lord Drakkon's backstory is yet to be told, and I'm excited to hear it. We didn't see anything about it in the annual, but Kyle said their story has yet to be told, and I'm excited to see what that story is. Even though I joked about it in my review, I want to see what this backstory is. Now that I joked about it, and Kyle hinted at it on the Ranger Danger podcast, I want to find out what their backstory is. But anyways, thanks for watching the video. If you've got any weird Lord Drakkon theories or Power Ranger comic theories, tell me in the comment section down below. Have a wonderful day, peace out, and stay safe.